Welcome to Kathryn Raaker's World. Innovation, culture, adventure, fashion and health, artists, destinations, traditions. This is Kathryn Raaker's World.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World, and we have a wonderful guest today. She's a good friend, a good business friend, and my banker, all rolled into one. And you've seen her many times on our shows. Welcome to our show, Marty Schultes, Northside Bank Manager, Delhi Branch in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh.
Welcome to our show, Mart.
Thanks, Cass. Thanks for having me today. Excited to be here and talk to you about things.
I love having you on our show. It's nice to have a woman bank manager. Why? Because it's not like I don't like men or anything, but I think women are a little bit, not softer, but a little bit more understanding of women entrepreneurs, maybe?
I think so. I think we're not so black and white. There's a lot of gray area in banking that we have to look at. And I think that having that background and also being a woman and being a mother, you also have a little bit of that nurturing that goes on. You have the common sense and the smarts, but you also have that nurturing to know when to say yes, when to say no, how to listen more so. I think that helps a lot with customers, in business. So.
And I've been with Northside now for probably, I'm not quite sure, maybe at least since I started my company in 2003. And I have to tell you, Marty, I love private banks.
It's a wonderful thing. We're a privately owned institution. We're 8 branches. We've been around 126 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, we're really happy to be able to say that. It is a good feeling to be that true community bank, to really be that true bank that's in your neighborhood, where people come in and they know you and you know them, you know their families. That's a really good feeling. And where you're not so big that you're changing managers every other time. We have employees that have been with us 40 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah, lots of employees that have been with us 40 plus years. We have a unique situation where we're also a bank. We have a lot of husband-wife teams. We have a lot of family that has come in and worked, not so much together at branches, but at different areas and stuff. So that's a good feeling.
Well, the other thing that made me feel really wonderful about the bank is when we were going through this crisis in our country about, what was happening in the banking industry, you guys were strong, which made me feel great. And I can even go out of the country, call you up or call somebody up at one of the Northside offices. And, that's what I love about going into Northside is that everybody knows your name.
Yeah,
that's the cool part.
It is a really, really good feeling, and that's a culture that they've always developed, is that you know your customers, you know their families, you know what's going on with them. You build that trust with somebody so that if something is going upside down, they call you and let you know that. That's so important. Or when things are really good, to be able to say, hey, things are really good for you right now. Your business is growing a whole lot. Have you thought about doing this, this, or this to even help you even more? And that's been our niche, truly, is commercial business is our niche, small commercial business, along with the retail side, which is where I am.
Let me ask about the commercial business. I know you're on the retail side, but we've talked about this before. How much commercially can you get a loan for today?
We can loan up to somewhere around $7-8 million. After that point, we will go in a participation with another institution and do
right. So if you needed $24 million or something like that for whatever it is, then you would do it with somebody else, correct?
Right. We take a look at the package, say what part of it we would finance, and then find a partner. And Northside has other banks of smaller institutions like us. Or mid-sized institutions like us that do the same sort of thing that we do. We're not the big, huge conglomerates that you're finding on every corner that are every part of the country. That's not our niche. That's not where we want to be.
Right. What do you in commercial banking? What would be a good fit for Northside?
We do a lot of manufacturing companies. We'll do a lot of equipment. Contractors are a big piece of our
Your
portfolio.
business.
Real estate, commercial real estate's another thing that we take a look at. And
Would you
and
do
we'll
a
take
golf
look at it.
course? Would they do a golf course resort?
They would take a look at it. I'm sure they'd take a
Right.
look at it and see,
Right.
you know.
With homes in the area and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
We have done that before. We have other,
Really?
clients who are, have golf courses, and that works out pretty well because then you get the whole package. You get the real estate package, and then you're able to help them, because it's not just the golf course. There's the clubhouse, and then there's the whole running of the, the inside stuff.
Yeah, there's so many new ones that are coming out that are, they have beautiful condominiums with them, and they're just gorgeous. I mean, I love the idea, and I can see first, second, third stage living in golf courses as well. You know what I mean? And would you work with a assisted living group?
Again, it's something they would, the commercial one would certainly take a look at and see
Now-
what the niche would be and where we would fit into that.
Right. Now, tell me what happens with you with your end of the business, which is retail.
I'm retail more so. So if somebody commercially comes in, we get what they want to do, and then I bring in my commercial lender. So they really start analyzing their different figures. On the retail side, I'm doing the home loans, the home improvement loans, the car loans, the personal loans, your personal banking type of things. Also, your investments into CDs, your IRA money, your everyday checking, your everyday savings. Things that are 401k plans that companies are handling, minor accounts, things of those nature. I look at retail as being what your everyday people kind of need. And then on the business side of it, so your businessmen have already got all their stuff. We bring them in, set them up. Then it's their day-to-day running of things, Business people don't have as much leadway or as protection as a consumer does, so they really need to be more hands-on with their accounting. So that's every day looking at your stuff and seeing where you're at, and watching what's coming in, what's going out.
Right.
That's where my niche really fills in with the business. Is I keep an eye on that. I have a really great relationship with all my business customers. They're amazing. I can't say enough about them. They're amazing. When I've needed things personally, I felt very good about calling them, going, "Oh my gosh, I need this done, or this has come up, I need this." So it's a two-way street, And then when I see something coming in that I feel like is this right? I'm not sure if this is really yours or if it's right or not. I feel really comfortable calling them, And
saying, I'm not sure about this.
Right. In today's technology, it's been really interesting. Everybody's online doing everything. So, if you can't catch somebody, you can either try to email them. I've been to the point where I've texted people. I'm like, I know people are looking at their phones, so it's Marty here at Northside, give me a call. I need to talk about something, or I'm seeing something I don't like. That feels really good to just have that kind of relationship with people, to be able to go, hey, I'm watching out for you, and that's, I think, where our customers find that the difference. I think that is truly what the difference is. We haven't changed names. We haven't been sold out. They see the same people coming in. That feels really good.
And on that note, we need to take a short break. Would you give your website, please, for Northside?
Sure. It's www.northsidebankandtrust.com. You can also do www.nsbt.net.
And we'll be right back on Kathryn Raaker's World right after these messages.
Ballerina.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
We're back on Kathryn Raaker's World, and we're with Marty Schultes of Northside Bank, and we were talking prior to the show on what's happening in the banking world. Now, during the break we talked about, are CDs going up? What's happening with the interest rates? Can you tell me?
Okay.
And also, are you protected with your funds with FDIC?
Okay. So right now, what's going on with rates? Our rates are in a rising environment. The Federal Reserve has risen the prime rate, so that follows its CD rates will follow that. On the other end, though, loan rates do tend to follow that too. So you have homeowners, they're looking for homes they need to buy because mortgage rates are going to go up for retirement, and are getting to the point where they're going to be drawing on that, because then we find that what people want to do is bring their money together and then have just their required minimum distribution as such when they get old enough coming out of one bank.
Now,
So that's good.
and some of your customers, like your contractors, what's going on with them?
Contractors are busy right now. They are super busy. They cannot hire enough people to keep the work going. They feel very comfortable right now. There's a lot of contracts out there. The contractors feel very good about the work. They feel like it's flowing, that it's going to continue flowing. They're not in that scared section that they were several
Right.
years ago, just holding their own, which is good for the economy too. When they're looking to hire people, that's awesome. That just means that we're doing better as an economy. Things are getting built, things are being bought and sold. Right. It trickles all the way down the line. But getting back to your other question on FDIC insurance, your deposits are insured through the FDIC, and it's not just the $250,000 that they say. It's per category. So you can have a lot of FDIC insurance, not just in $250,000. You can have that in your retirement. You can have that in your individual name. It doesn't run by your Social Security number. It has it in the different categories that you have your money in. So really, if you're worried about that, sit down with somebody and have them look at everything that you have and have them divide it out and see where you're sitting with it. Because you can have a lot more protection, almost up to $6 million worth of protection,
Oh, wow.
depending on how you have your money set up in the categories that you have it in. So it's not just the $250,000 per institution or per person.
Right.
It can be worked out, but it takes somebody to sit down with you and take a look at it and see where you're at, and what your goals are too. Where you want your money and what your goals are in the future too. Is this just money saving, or do you feel like you want to go ahead and go into the market, which is not insured, but do you want to get into the market and you want to sit down with a financial person who can go ahead and talk to you about that? That's something that we also have on staff. We have somebody who works for the bank who actually does that for us. They do financial planning. They take care of all the stocks and bonds and buying and selling and things like that, along with our trust department, who then takes care of the other end with the Northside Bank and Trust, of putting things in a trust, to have an institution take care of your finances. Maybe you can't, or maybe you want to have money set aside for a child who can't take care of themselves later on in life. We're the third party who are following exactly what your instructions say when you're gone, to take care of that child or that
elder member or somebody
Yes.
that's in assisted living. I mean, there's a lot of people that are, taking care of a loved one, and the caretaker dies, and here's the person out here, and you need to do that ahead of time prior to.
Absolutely. You need to start thinking about things like that. It's never too early to really start planning and thinking about that. And things can change. You can change things as you need to, but it's good to review that every year too, to go ahead and see where you're at. And on the business side, it's really good for business owners to think about that. What happens to you after you're gone? What happens to your business? Where do you want your business to go if something happens to you? What's the exit plan for you on your business? Some people go, I'll just sell my business. That's great. Have an idea what your business is worth today. Or do I want it to go to family members? How do I want to give it to my family members? It's so important that people start thinking about that now, and then they can adjust it along the way. But then if something does happen to an owner of a business, it's not just up in the air, or the business just doesn't die.
Marty, as a business owner, I'm always worried about what happens if I die suddenly. Who's responsible for all my bills if I'm, say, for instance, my husband's gone or there's no one besides me? Then what?
Well, it depends on what kind of bills you have, and depends on what collateral is behind those bills.
Right.
So, say, for example, in a manufacturing situation, typically the bank will have some type of collateral, all business assets.
Right.
Those assets then need to be liquidated to take care of the debt. Just depends on what the business is and what you have. Depends on how you have it set up. The estate-wise, does the estate take over your business then, and then does the attorney then distribute that out and deal with it? Again, it's something that you have to think about ahead of time. What's going to happen. There are situations where money can be lost or gained in that. It just depends on how it's set up. From the banking standpoint, we always really try to cover ourselves with assets of the business. Putting collateral out there, things like that. Same thing with your house. If you had your house and something happened to you, and the bank had a mortgage on your house, the mortgage has to be, taken care of before the estate can go ahead and sell the house.
That's right.
Off and stuff. So it just depends. Again, it's planning. It's really is thinking, if something happened to me, and there's people left behind, how do I want to get this taken care of?
Right. Or how do I want my estate taken care of? And a lot of people wait until they die before, and then the state or the government gets a certain amount of money. Isn't it important to sit down and do that part of it as well?
I think it's important for everybody to sit down and just, have a plan. Go ahead and get your will set up, have a plan, talk to your financial planner if you have one. So give your loved ones an idea, go ahead and get a will out there. It can be changed. You can change a will. You can make adjustments to it. Each year, take a look at it. Just like financial planning, you take a look at it every year. Things change every year.
And on that note, we need to take another short break, and we'll be right back with Marty Schultes of Northside Bank. And give your website again.
It's www.nsbt.net.
And we'll be right back on Kathryn Raaker's World.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. Our whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
That's
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you?
You know you do.
Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome,
I think we're breathtaking.
and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that brand? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to GetSchooled.com for more info.
We're back on Kathryn Raaker's World. Now, Marty, I really want to talk about really fun things that the bank does. You always, and it's you, I think a lot of it's you. When you walk into your bank and you see what's on the counter and there's little cookies or cakes or even coffee or water for customers, because you never know when a customer comes in, They may not have had anything to drink for a while. I mean, water-wise or whatever. And it's just such a friendly atmosphere. You know, and I love the way you guys decorate for different holidays. But you know what I love about the bank is that you let your businesses display their companies. And to me, that's really special because you let us do it for a month. And it's nice to walk into the beginning, you know, the lobby part of the bank or the outside door of the bank and see, because every bank's different when you walk in, and you see that display of that business. Take a look at it and you make sure, hey, maybe I should be networking or working with this company. That would be something else. And how did that start?
Well, it was the idea that we wanted to, on the business of the month, we wanted to give our businesses an opportunity to showcase their stuff. What better place than the bank that they bank with?
Right.
You know, it's just another thing that we can do for them to help them. You know, we're in partnership with the business to help them. So how can we do that? So that was one of the ways they came up with that, is open to all of our businesses at every branch, you know, that they bank at. They can do a month of displaying their table out in the lobby, whatever they might, you know, however they might want to do it. So we open that up to them to go ahead and do it. It's been very popular. You know, it's been very, very popular. And we've had other customers who've used these customers, and which is a good feeling, because then that becomes a community feeling of like, oh, well, I trust them. So, you know, if the bank is letting them display, do you know this company? Yes, I know them very well, and we trust them, and, you know, you can trust them to do your work for you if it's a service type of deal. So that feels really good. And then the whole idea of the branch was, and it's a culture, again, with Northside, it's a culture. It's a welcoming feeling. You know, when you go into somebody's house and you sit down, the first thing they usually do is offer you a drink.
Right.
Would you like something, a little something to eat, or would you like a drink? And when we opened the branch several years ago, we had moved locations, and we said, how else do we develop this culture? And for me, I love to bake, so
And she's really good.
I like
by
to
the way.
bake, so I thought I can have treats out on the counter, because who just doesn't like a cookie or a piece of cake? Or now there have been some flops, but for the most part, they've turned out okay. You know, a bottle of water, a cup of coffee. It's a welcoming feeling. We want people to feel really comfortable and welcoming, because then when you feel that way, you're also you trust that person, and as they trust you, you know, we can have a relationship, and we can say, you know, is something working for you, or is something not working for you? Right. And it's more than just, you know, the financial sense of it too. I am blessed with an incredible staff that really talk to. They
really
talk to the
loving.
customers. They know the customers. They kid around with them. We know their pets' names. We let the dogs come in. You know, we all are animal lovers. So we really know what's going on. And, you know, if somebody's having a bad day, they'll come over and tell me, oh, you know, Mary's having a bad day. Something's going on. Right. So that might just be a phone call I make and say, is everything okay? Is there anything bank-wise we can do for you? That feels really good, you know. And, again, I'm in a great spot where Dell has a wonderful community. All of our branches are in great
and you're
communities.
very involved also in the community, right?
I am very involved in community. I'm vice president for the Business Association. I'm involved with the Kiwanis group. I do several of just the community event types of things.
Especially the car thing that you do.
Yeah, the Rolling on the River Car
year.
Show, that's coming up at the end of July, the fourth Sunday in July. Because that money, all that money that's made, gives back to the community, gives back to the kids in the community, which feels good. And I actually moved over and live in the community.
Now?
Yes, I didn't always, but after about a year and a half, I moved over to the community because it was just such a good feel. And when you're involved in community, you meet more people. You know, they know you. You know, you feel like you can really like call somebody and say, hey, a tree just came down in my yard and I don't have a chainsaw, or, you know, or, I need.
There's a referral there too, a referral basis there. And it's so wonderful because through you, I've met all the other branches, and they all, when you walk in, they all know your name. And it's just lovely that, you know, I love the Coleraine office, and I think we've been actually to every office.
Yeah, and isn't that how it should be?
Yeah.
Isn't that how, when you do business with somebody, that's how it should be? It should be that experience of, oh, I'm happy to be here. They're happy I'm here. That's how it should be. You know, it
Now
shouldn't-
tell me about your employees, how well they treat their employees really well, or they wouldn't be there all those years, right?
Yeah, we have very long-time employees. Northside's a very family company. They give us the leadway to do what we need to do. Whether it's in-house promotions, I like to do a lot of fun in-house promotions. Halloween is a huge...
You're a really big one on Halloween.
Yeah,
I know
Halloween's
that.
a huge deal with
And
Northside.
Christmas.
Yeah.
And Christmas.
So they allow us the leadway to just do what we need to do in our community to help that community, whether it's collecting things or whether it's having some kind of fun promotion.
I love the skirt game. I love the skirt game every year. There are certain things that you do, and Delhi is, they have the Christmas.
It's unique.
Yeah, I mean, it's unique to a lot of. I mean, I'm that's the reason why I will never leave Northside Bank.
Yeah.
Because I feel this closeness, and if I have a question, I do not have a problem calling the bank, calling you, calling any of the girls, or if I have a problem with my website, going to the website and calling the people at the, the
Yeah.
head branch.
We pick up our phone. That's
We
our
know.
tagline. We actually
We
pick up
know.
our phone, and you can actually go, okay, oh shoot, I'm locked out or something. Well, I know that all I need to do is call Keith, or I'm going to get a hold of Rick or Janetta upstairs.
Right.
You get to the point where you know these people, and we can get the answers right away too, which is really important on things. We can try to fix things again as quick as we can for you.
Is there anything new coming up in this year that we should know about, because we're almost out of time?
There's a lot of this information out there of peer-to-peer paying. It's like that Zelly, Apple Pay, things like that. It's new. It's great. I just caution people to be really careful with that because there's not the protections with those type of peer-to-peer payment as there is with your credit card, your debit card. There's not the same type of protection. So once that money's gone out of your account and it doesn't get to where it's supposed to be, we can't fix that for you.
Right.
That's a third party. So, I mean, they have their good and their bad, but that's the new technology that's out there. So that's just a caution, it's a good thing, but you just have to be careful with it.
I can't thank you enough for joining us today on Kathryn Raaker's World, and I can't wait to invite you back again, Mark.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. And give those websites out again.
Okay, so our website for Northside Bank is www.nsbt, like NorthsideBankTrust.net.
And we'll see you next time on Kathryn Raaker's World.